22 days until the election, and what did the weekend bring us? Well, we got hit with the three storms, or two storms actually. Florida got hit by two of them, and recovery efforts are still going on. That's in the news, a lot of things about that. And of course, politically, everyone is using this to help and act and be there. So that game is still going on. But, and more on storms later. But the big thing, I guess, or you can't say it's a big thing, I really haven't found nothing on it, is they claim when Trump was in California at a rally, I remember looking at it, it kind of took me by surprise. He went into basically a blue area, had a rally, and the mayor and that said that this was wrong of him to do that, nobody wants him there. But I guess some people turned out for this rally. Anyway, so supposedly a man was stopped somewhere in these checkpoints. They had different areas that they were allowing people to come through, and somewhere out an individual was found, which they said was, of course, there's different versions of this, but one version said that he had a press pass and a VIP ticket, which were forged, and apparently he was armed or something. He had weapons with him of some sort. It's not clear. And then somebody said that's not the case. He was just stopped and had weapons or something. But they stopped this individual. But the key thing is they identified the man and said that he was a far-right extremist that was plotting to assassinate Donald Trump. So, far-right extremist. And there was somebody that was saying that they used this term, okay, because there was another news break over the weekend or a few days ago when I was scanning through. There was a gang of some sort called the Peckerwoods or something, and they used the term that this gang organization, criminal organization or whatever they were, was some kind of something that started in a prison. This group, that they were a far-right extremist gang. And supposedly they arrested, they had a sting where they arrested 27 or 20, or no, 20-some members were still at large, but 40-some of these individuals were arrested in a giant sting operation, which they shut down supposedly. They call it a gang or whatever. But they're usually, you know, like the neighborhood gangs or the street gangs, they're basically just criminal organizations. They all function the same way, you know, committing some sort of crimes, extortion, they said fraud, and of course selling drugs and weapons is always a good money maker, you know, when you're out there doing that. And so now you're seeing a lot of this far-right organizations or people or whatever. So it's kind of like you're being labeled, like in the old days, as an anarchist or whatever, because you believe in what you believe in, and this doesn't go with the current administration. So now you become far right. It's like they used to complain about people being very religious, okay? And most religions, there's a lot of things in woke culture that most religions don't agree with. So now your First Amendment rights of freedom of speech and freedom of practicing your religion, you're being told, and I really don't believe these people, do anything one way or the other, violently or illegally. They just complain and state that they don't believe this ideology should be in public education, or children shouldn't be exposed to this, which, I believe in. Okay? What people do as adults is their own business, as long as they're not harming anyone else. But to push an ideology and have it supported by the government, which kind of goes against a lot of religious moral beliefs, and then say that these people are fanatics, okay, I think it's quite wrong. So we had another attempt. So how serious it is, what it's all about, I don't know. I tried to find some information. I couldn't. So, and then now, with these 2 hurricanes that came, I was watching something here where a guy was saying that another one, or there's a couple others forming out there. This individual is showing out in the middle of the Atlantic. He goes, there's a 40% chance it may be a storm, it may be nothing, but there is a possibility that another hurricane of some sort, or tropical storm, can hit the United States once again. Now, with 20 days, 21 days out, I believe that's enough time for another storm to come in if it does develop. Kind of not panicking, but it does kind of seem strange, and that would not be a good thing whatsoever if we get hit with a 3rd tropical storm, especially one if it got quite large. And then people say coincidence or global warming. I mean, it's always easy to say, hey, it's global warming, the government doesn't control the weather, which is a theory that some people have, which, sounds kind of odd, but, there are no coincidences, okay? And it's like 9/11, okay? They had a stock market crash in 2001. I mean, it was going, everybody was investing for their retirement funds, their 401ks, and everything was going great. I mean, the money was adding up. Then all of a sudden there was an economic collapse right around the same time the Twin Towers were attacked. So most people looked at the crash and they tied the stock market crash into this mass casualty event. Okay? And I remember for years all the guys are looking at and all the money they lost, and there were men older than me that were much closer to retirement that lost an awful lot of money. And everybody, it's 9/11, and then they just forget about it. Well, if you ever watch a program called American Greed, you would find out that half of these funds and all this other stuff were Ponzi schemes. There was a program that broke each one down, and in that time frame, these people were doing this stuff, and they were getting pension funds to invest with them, and they were all Ponzi schemes, and one by one they collapsed. Okay? Again, this is economic war. I don't even want to get into it now, but it's bad. So, I'm seeing this now with the hurricanes. Everybody's going to blame it on global warming. But it's pretty strange, because people are saying that these storms are pretty rare events. Okay, which, could happen. But, I don't know. I know both states. My state, the one section it's going to be years and years to recover. Florida, also, I still think they don't have power down there. Things are not good there to get hit twice within a short period of time. But, it's not good. Okay, and we got 20 days to go, so that kind of throwing a monkey wrench into everything. Another assassination attempt, and then all the other fun stuff. Well, that's my thoughts for today. We'll see what tomorrow brings in the countdown. God only knows what else can go on. Alright guys, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.